Hello viewers and welcome back to Exhaust Notes Australia. Today we are in a Hyundai Palisade and this is the calligraphy trim. So this car sits at the top. I want to say hi. And the calligraphy sits at the top of Hyundai's passenger car offerings. In this trim level we're looking at around $83,000 drive away. There is the entry-level Elite, which starts from about $77,000. Or you can spend a little bit more on the calligraphy and get what they call the calligraphy black ink, which basically is the calligraphy trim but with everything blacked out from the grille to the wheels. And you can only choose from two color options there, which is the creamy white or the abyss black. So I've had the opportunity of driving the Elite trim prior to this recently, and now I'm in the calligraphy, and really both cars drive and feel very similar to each other. Both of the ones I experienced had the 2.2 litre diesel engine. You can get a front-wheel drive V6, but the 2.2 litre diesel comes with Hyundai's H-Track all-wheel drive system, but it's tuned to a not too shabby 147 kilowatts and 440 newton meters of torque. Compare that to the V6 front-wheel drive, which has 217 kilowatts, but only 355 newton meters of torque. The Palisade in all trims can come configured with 7 or 8 seats, and so in this case we have a 2, 3 and 3 arrangement, and the 7-seaters are a 2, 2 and 3 arrangement. The second row is where you really notice how spacious this car can be. There's a lot of room to stretch out, even for someone as tall as myself, and it's definitely impressed almost everyone who sat back there with just how big the car is. But then we are sitting at the top of the tree. This is a fairly substantially sized car, but thankfully, and with most large cars these days, it doesn't drive like one. It is actually really compliant around town. We're riding on 20-inch rims, which is the same in the Elite trim, just a different style. I'm going to say that the calligraphy trim wheels are probably going to be an absolute pain to keep clean if you're so inclined. Handily enough, the spare appears to be a full size, which is mounted underneath the rear of the car. One of the advantages of the Palisade is that both the second and third rows are able to fold flat, which gives you massive amounts of boot space and just versatility if you wish to be carrying anything around back there. So with all the rows up, we have 704 litres of boot space. With the second and third rows down, it opens to a whopping 2,447 litres. When it comes to colours, the Elite and calligraphy trims do share a few. The no-cost option colour is creamy white. Otherwise, you are adding $695 for option colours like Abyss Black, Graphite Grey, Moonlight Blue, Shimmering Silver and Sierra Burgundy. And there are 3 exclusive calligraphy colours, which are Gaia Brown Olivine Grey and Robust Emerald, that this car is in. Now, for competition, keeping in mind there are plenty of SUVs on the market at the moment. In the larger segments, obviously you might be looking at the Kia Sorento, Mazda CX-60, CX-90, Toyota Prado, those sorts of things. But what's setting this particular one apart is that it's an 8-seater, and so in that category it's a very small group. We only have things like the Nissan Pathfinder TI, which comes in from about $77,000, and the CX-90 that I mentioned earlier, but for that you're up at $80,000. So the Palisade is reasonably priced against those two. I'd say you probably get a lot more space in the second row of the Palisade, and in typical Hyundai fashion, it feels like you get a little bit more choice as well in how to customize it. In calligraphy trim, we have this nicer leather, Napa leather appointed seats, which are really comfortable. The Elite also has leather seats, although they just felt a little less comfortable. We have memory options for the driver's seats. We have heated and ventilated front and rear seats for that extra bit of comfort, which is nice. You've probably heard all the noises in the background already, but of course the Palisade comes with Hyundai's safety suite, which includes all the warnings about your speed and other things. Now, I've driven Hyundais with this system before and got used to it. In the Elite, it seemed really, really intrusive. In the Calligraphy, I don't know if it's because I've just got used to it or if some of the other systems are helping, but it doesn't seem to have been so bad. We are going downhill, so we are just a little over the speed limit there. The Calligraphy also comes with the blind spot monitors and the blind spot monitor cameras, thanks to having 360 cameras installed around under the mirrors. This also helps with reversing the vehicle as you get the 360 surround camera available to you as well. When reversing at night, there's also some extra lights that appeared which alert people that the car is moving and also just help improve visibility in low light situations as well, which is really handy. It's something I've seen rolling out on the Genesis vehicles too. The Elite and the Calligraphy have just very subtle differences to their exteriors. The front grille treatment is different on the Calligraphy. I actually think the Elite looks a little better. That's just personal preference. Otherwise, if I was to go for a Calligraphy, I would probably go for the black ink just to make it a little more subtle. There's a lot of silver out the front in the standard Calligraphy trim, but that doesn't seem to be putting buyers off, as I'm seeing these cars everywhere. So up front we have standard 12.3 inch screens, which are very familiar to anyone who's driven Hyundais before. And of course we have different drive modes. We have Comfort, Eco, Sport and Smart, and the dash will update as you change through those. There are also what Hyundai calls terrain modes for snow, mud and sand should you find yourself in those situations. The air conditioning controls here are quite nice. We have a good touchscreen system in the Calligraphy, so you can adjust all those settings. I found in the Elite had a different layout, and just when the sun hit it, you couldn't actually read anything that was on the screen, which was a little bit annoying. So just something to be aware of there. Steering wheel feels good. It's a really comfortable place to be for such a large car, and just really easy to drive and get around. The Calligraphy also gets a head-up display, just for that extra bit of information which the Elite misses out on. And should you wish to use them, you do have flappy paddles for altering your gears as well, which just come in handy going down hills, for example, and you want to hold a gear. The Palisade, being a large family car, has plenty of storage space. We have obviously door pockets, some good center console storage, center armrest storage with also USB ports, glove box, rear door pockets. One thing I keep missing is there is actually a really large storage area underneath the center console, and that even includes access to a USB port and a 12 volt as well. It's just by your legs, and yeah, like I said, I keep missing that it's actually there. And we also have 7 USB ports throughout, so 2 for each of the rear rows, and there's 3 in the front here in each of the storage compartments. One of those is USB-A, the rest of those are USB-C, I believe. We have a 12 speaker Infinity audio system, which is pretty decent, and that's in both trim levels as well. There are 5 tether points back there for your child seats, and ISOFIX points in the second row as well. The Calligraphy trim comes with the remote park assist and the ability to drive the car forward or backwards from the key fob, which is always a nice showpiece. The Elite obviously misses out on that, although you do still have remote start. Both cars also have what's called passenger talk, which allows you to, from the menu system, use the rear speakers to protect your voice to the rear passengers. And so with passenger talk, you should be able to speak clearly with those in the back as it plays your voice through the rear speakers. A handy thing for a car so large. The calligraphy also comes with rain sensing wipers. Yeah, otherwise in the Elite trim you just got to do all that stuff manually. So yeah, you've probably heard some of the beeps and warnings. Both cars come with Hyundai's safety suite for road sign recognition and things like that. I really found it more annoying in the Elite for some reason, but both cars aren't without their flaws, particularly on one of my main commutes is on one of Sydney's motorways, and they're just always picking up that the speed zone's wrong. Even though the signs visibly show 110, both cars were picking up that the speed zone was 70. So I don't know where they're getting that data from. It doesn't seem to be getting it from the road signs because they clearly state 110. So they're misreading them, or there's data sitting in the system somewhere that's making them think that it's a 70 zone. For other practicalities, the Palisade is capable of towing a 750 kilo unbraked trailer, up to 2200 kilos if it is braked. Should you wish, obviously a tow bar can be installed. Other competition comes within Hyundai itself. With them having a car placed in every segment, the Palisade finds itself seated between the Santa Fe, which will cost from about $72,000 in the Highlander trim, with the 2.2 litre diesel as well. And beneath, size-wise at least, it falls under the Staria Highlander, which is priced from $74,000. Now, obviously, if you don't want something as big as a Staria, then the Palisade could be the car that you'd be looking at. It's definitely a lot more car-like and more user-friendly in car parks and driving scenarios. For rear occupants, apart from all that space and room, we have privacy glass, and the rear doors come equipped with sunshades that can be raised or lowered as well, which the Elite trim misses out on. The second row adjustability can allow adults to sit in the third row, but I'd suggest this is for short trips or shorter people back there. You'll notice too that the single seat, like in other Hyundai and Kia products, is on the driver's side, which isn't the best for loading or offloading passengers at the curb, as it means lowering the double seat in the name of safety. And while the Elite does come with a sunroof, it's the calligraphy that offers the panoramic glass, which allows more light for the second and third row occupants. So that's about it really. A big thanks to Hyundai Australia for letting me review their car, and a big thanks to Exhaust Notes Australia for letting me have a play as well. Please check out all our socials, our website and YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more, as we will have more reviews coming very, very soon. Cheers guys, see you in the next one.